Hey everybody, it's Nico and welcome to Across the Airwaves. This is News with Nico. We got a great show for you today. On today's episode, I will be discussing NBC pulling an episode of Fear Factor, a new Fox pilot and what it means for NBC's The Office, more Ferris Beuller news, the Game of Thrones Season 2 trailer, and the recent trend of pre-releasing Super Bowl ads to try and increase the hype. I also plug our friends over at Legendary Women Inc. and their fundraiser going on now. Just a reminder, this is our bi-weekly News with Nico show, which is a supplement to the Across the Airwaves weekly long-form podcast where Dan and I give in-depth look at our favorite TV shows. Check out the Across the Airwaves podcast available on iTunes or visit us at acrosstheairwaves.com. Enough with the plugs, let's start things off today with our first news article. This week's episode of Fear Factor was pulled by NBC for content. NBC's Fear Factor is known for pushing the limits of what is tasteful, but its latest stunt has crossed the line, according to NBC executives. The reality competition, in which contestants participate in scary stunts and gross-out tests of stamina, was scheduled to air an episode Monday night in which contestants were shown drinking freshly squeezed donkey semen. I'll let that sink in for a second because I'm not even freaking kidding. Word of the stunt hit the web last week, followed by a collective sound of dry heaving, and NBC opted not to air the challenge on Monday night, and rather it ran a rerun from earlier this season. My question for you is, do you feel bad for those contestants who actually drank the semen just to get on television and now won't be on television? Yeah, me neither. And we're moving on. Fox has picked up a new pilot starring Office's Mindy Kaling. The show is a half-hour comedy written and starring Kaling as an OB/GYN. The show was originally developed by NBC Universal, but the top brass over at the Peacock decided to pass on the show, and Fox jumped at the opportunity. A few more details have been released in which Universal TV tells us that the project is about a young Bridget Jones-type doctor trying to navigate both her personal and professional lives. So this show sounds like utter crap to me. Then why, Nico, are you reporting on it? Well, with the Dwight Schrute spinoff mentioned last week, and now this new project, Mindy Kaling, it looks as if the NBC's once dominant The Office is going out of business, and that is why this craptastic show is newsworthy. On to our third news item. On our last episode, I mentioned the news that the 80s movie hero Ferris Beuller will be returning via an advertisement airing during the Super Bowl. Or at least that's the impression left by the 10-second teaser I showed last episode. Well, today the full version of the commercial was released with really two reactions from everyone.
I'm not sure what it is. I guess I'll be okay.
I'm calling the studio, Matthew. You're not shooting.
He bought it. One of the worst performances of my career, and he never doubted it for a second.
Roderick.
How could I resist?
Look, I don't know what to tell you. He's sick. Actors get sick sometimes.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Get going in the all-new CR-V from Honda.
First, most people seem to like this ad with the reactions like, hey, I remember that from the movie. And, oh, it's funny because he's older but still doing the same shit. And by that I mean all the very memorable and brilliant scenes that were featured in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But then comes the second reaction most people have, which is, are you kidding me? Ferris Bueller's trying to sell me a Honda CR-V? In other words, most people seem to like the fact that Matthew Broderick took us down memory lane by being his Ferris Bueller-esque self once again, but wish he would have done it for a better product than a Honda CR-V. Regardless, the countless Easter eggs are well worth a watch. A link to the complete video is in the description below. Moving on, HBO has released a Season 2 trailer for Game of Thrones.
A very small man can cast a very large shadow.
You're fighting to overthrow a king.
Killing you would send your brother a message.
You might find it difficult to rule over millions who want you dead.
I am Daenerys Stormborn, and I will take what is mine with fire and blood.
Anyone can be killed.
I understand the way this game is played.
Check out the video on HBO's websites, links in the description below. Marvel has released its teaser of the Avengers trailer that they will run during the Super Bowl. I guess when you spend $3.5 million for a 30-second spot, you want there to be hype, and this is why many companies have decided to leak their ads before the Super Bowl to get you excited, or something stupid like that. Who really knows? They're advertisers. Do they even know what they're doing anymore? At least Marvel recut this to only tease 10 seconds and not give the whole thing away. Now in our final news story of the day, Audi is yet another company to also pre-release their Super Bowl ad. Last year they had this overproduced and overcomplicated commercial about a prison for old rich people that flew over everybody's head. It was a serious misfire. Audi, what the hell were you thinking? Don't overthink this. Just show us your beautiful car on a beautiful stretch of landscape and get out. That's what an Audi buyer is looking for. So what did the car maker come up with this year? Oh, let's see. What's hip, chic, and popular right now? I know. Let's use vampires.
There he is. Party's arrived. Fades up against against your will, through the thick and thin.
Audi. The headlights are so bright they will kill vampires. Can you imagine the guys from Mad Men pitching this crap to Don Draper? Hell no. He'd have launched into a moving speech about how we aren't selling $60,000 sports cars to 13-year-old girls. We're recapturing a lost moment. The exhilaration of the first time your father let go of the bike, the first time you undressed a beautiful woman, or held your newly born child. Audi, Audi, Audi. Way to take a cool car brand and instantly render it utterly uncool. You're missing your demographic here. Finally, help our friends over at Legendary Women Inc. with their annual fundraiser for the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, going on now through February 12th, 2012. Here's a quick promo from the women over at Legendary Women Inc. and Sweet.
The Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation has long been a charity of interest for Smallville fans. In the past, the Sweet Forum and Legendary Women have hosted separate charity drives. Now we are joining forces to raise money in honor of Lana Lang and Chloe Sullivan, taking donations and selling raffle tickets for rare items relating to Allison Mack, Kristen Crook, and the characters they play. For more information on how to donate or enter the raffle, ending February 12th, please see www.legendarywomen.org. Help Sweet and Legendary Women support the Reeve Foundation. Go forward and donate today. Thank you.
And that's the news with Nico for this week. Clickety-clack that like button or leave us a comment down below. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you next time.
We now return to our regularly scheduled program.
Who's a good girl?